just one more fly and with the mirror. Yeah, just one more fly and that's about it. There's 9 enemies out there somewhere. I'm just going to fly out to the enemy area and just loiter around there. Sorry, I needed to press the push the torque there, didn't I? Yeah, basically, let's take off. We've got 9 enemies to fight, so I'm a bit further away from the phone, so I can't really see the chat from here. If I disturb the phone at all, the internet's going to cut out again, like it did last time. So sorry about that. I will be able to check it maybe once every 20 minutes or something. So I'm just going to fly down the coast a bit, keep an eye on my fuel, and then land back at base before my fuel runs out. I have a feeling this will just be a huge waste of time. Well, I don't know, but I'm really upset about the internet cutting out before, that's for sure. But 2818, that's in the south. Go up to the inlet here somewhere, and then I'll just turn directly south, and I'll go to there. $29.18. Moving south, that one is. One thing the Thrustmaster throttle needs is it needs a friction, like a throttle friction. So, like even like in a real aeroplane like a Cessna, there's a kind of a screw that you can screw around the throttle lever to tighten it up or to loosen it. It's called throttle friction. And you can adjust the throttle's friction so it can be moved in and out extremely easily, or so that it's locked in place, or so that it's kind of stiff to move, or it's just kind of moving a bit. You need something like that on this Thrustmaster throttle, because if you go to use all of the myriad of buttons on there and it doesn't have something to lock it down with friction, like a screw that you can turn in, then you go to like do this or this, and inadvertently you touch the throttle and you slide it forward or back, and then you've adjusted your engine power setting, and then it's off where it compared to where it should be. Case in point, I was supposed to be at 7, manifold pressure of 7, and just touching the throttle like that brought it down to 4, and 4 is not very powerful at all. You want 7. Alright, so here's the inlet to this place here, and I'm going to use the rudder a bit. I'm going to turn and go south. Looks like I'm turning too much to go south from here. This is at the beginning of the inlet, and I should probably actually fly further inland, but let's check the map soon. Getting like 100 or 119 FPS. It's pretty nice. They've got not just an FPS marker up there, they've got something else. So I'm seeing 110 and 105. I haven't got a bloody clue what the second marker stands for. They just included it there one day. So I know what my FPS is, but it's about 120, but the other one, I don't know what it is. Have no clue. Alright, so from the beginning of the inlet here, I'm going to go south, and I really need to go up to about there and then go south. So from here, why don't I actually just go 140. I reckon it's 180 is too much. I'll go 140. I was thinking last night I'd really like to get back into flying in real life. Go and re-establish my private pilot's license. just as purely as a self-esteem project. I mean, of course, it requires a lot of money that could be spent elsewhere. But how important is your self-esteem to you? If you're like me and all your life you've had a deficit of self-esteem, I think building up your self-esteem is pretty well priority number one, over the top of buying a house, mortgage, anything like that. The foundation of your existence on earth is self-esteem, so there's something to be said for that. And you want a nice, solid foundation. No enemies anywhere. So I just keep going 140, and hopefully we're going to bump into some enemies going back and forth, particularly like Stukas and 109s. Let's check the fuel gauge pretty soon. Spitfire, of course, really nice plane. Best of engineering and everything. Merlin, Rolls-Royce, Supermarine, Spitfire. Supermarine was running the Schneider Trophy float plane race, like they were in it, and probably winning it and stuff, I would say. Prior to World War II, there were all these thinly veiled sporting events that were really de facto ways of building up engine power know-how for aircraft engines. Notably, the Schneider Trophy, Schneider Cup Trophy, Schneider Trophy was a float plane race where Supermarine, before they made the Spitfire, they made a float plane that was to compete in this race. It was to get the absolute speed record in a straight line, I believe. And the winner was getting like 700 kilometers an hour or something ridiculous like that, like really freaking fast for a freaking float plane. They only had to fly, like a kilometre or something before the engine would break down. It didn't matter. It was like Formula One, but it was for float planes. Light little aircraft like you'd see in the Red Bull Air Race, but with floats, so they could land on water. It was quite a spectacle. So the Schneider Trophy, Schneider Cup float plane race, and you got the Italians in there. I assume Fiat or Macchi or someone was in there. Probably the French, probably the Germans. So all these float planes vying to get the world speed record in the Schneider Cup Trophy. Then, on top of that, this is in the pre-war years, like 1930s basically, before World War II kicked off. In addition to that, you had the car speed record that Auto Union and Mercedes-Benz and so on were participating in on the autobahns in Germany. So it was a combination of the German high-speed highways, freeways, the autobahns, and the combined unlimited budget engineering effort of Auto Union, which is Audi, the Olympic circles kind of thing, and Mercedes as well, Mercedes-Benz, Daimler-Benz. Yeah, so these cars were getting up to huge speeds on the autobahn. You're not even going to believe this. They're getting up to 400 kilometers an hour, these cars in the 1930s on the autobahn. 400 kilometers an hour. And a lot of it was to do with engine technology. And the engine technology, why were they so keen? Why was there state sponsorship for these big car races where they drive a car in a straight line on a straight section of the autobahn and get a land speed record for cars going extremely fast? 400 kilometers an hour in the 1930s. Why were they doing this? Because it was a way to build up engine technology right before you had a world war, so that your fighter planes would have excellent engine technology. And then all of that know-how got put into aero engines for Daimler-Benz, BMW, all of that auto union knowledge got put into them, Junkers, all the engines that everyone was making, Heinkel, etc., etc., etc. So, I mean, you know what, there's just no planes around, is there? Oh, getting so tired. Not sleepy tired, but like bored tired. There's still 8 of them out there somewhere. Maybe they're in the UK though. They could be in Portsmouth, attacking the ships in Portsmouth. You never know. But you know, all the information is saying that they're in this neck of the woods. So they could be up high though, you see. You need more players on here, don't you? And probably like better communication between the players on your side. Otherwise you're just flying around doing nothing. Also, the map can finish at certain times after about 2 hours and 40 minutes. So when is this map going to finish? I can only tell by looking at the website. I might look at the website now. I'll have to pause it for a sec. Sorry about that. So I've decided to go full power, including boost. And let's just cruise along like this. And kind of head back to base. I won't get back to base in time though. Yeah, literally in about 1 minute or less, the map is going to end. It's going to finish. Shoot, do some shooting. It doesn't show you all the tracer. That would wipe you out if your plane got hit by that salvo. I think the rifle caliber bullets in this aren't good enough. I don't think they do enough damage to the airframe. If you hit the pilot or the engine, they'll do some damage, but if you hit like the fuselage, that's the end of the map. Rifle caliber bullets in the game, they will destroy the engine if you hit it, and they'll destroy the pilot if you hit it, but they won't destroy the airframe. That means the wings and the fuselage. If you hit it with a burst of rifle, even hundreds of rounds, the fuselage doesn't even care. But in real life, if that happens, the fuselage is like wrecked, finished, done. The airframe's done. Yeah, I think I'm going to give it a miss. There's not enough players at the moment, so I gave it a shot though, right? I tried, so yeah, frog out. Like, share, subscribe, and super chat and super thanks. I'll see you later, bye.